All right. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Matthew Morris of ManaDawn Tabletop Games, co-creator of Rolling Coast, and I'm here with the wonderful André Novoa. André, no need to introduce yourself, but why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, maybe I should. Thanks, Matt. I'm Andre. Uh, you might know me from Games Omnivorous. That's my company, game design studio, and I'm a co-creator. Games Omnivorous is the original publisher, as you know, of Mausritter, and now we're like co-creators. I'm like a co-creator with Isaac Williams, and we're working with Exalted Funeral as the publishers right now. And thanks for this, Matt. This is great.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to do this. Yeah, you know me. If I get a chance to talk about Mouse Ritter and share how much I love it, I jump on that right away. So we're gonna do it.
Yeah, you never miss. You never miss one.
So Andre,
Awesome.
those who are watching, they
Tell me.
know it is Mausritter Month, and we are officially 1 week as of an hour ago. We've been live for 1 week.
Hmm.
So just jumping over real quick, showing folks what it looks like over there on BackerKit, and looks like we are currently 15 of 16. $227,000 dollars pledged. So tell me just what's BackerKit like for you right now? Now that the ball is rolling, things are going. What is it like?
Yeah, I mean it's been a very complicated, complex, not complicated, complex 6 months, I would say, to set this up because just of the sheer scale of this with doing Junk City and kind of like working somehow in project manager slash creator capacity with that was already a big enough of a project, and then bringing together all these wonderful 50, it's 15 so it's 16 together, all together, but it's 15 third party creators and projects was obviously very challenging. But I said this already. It's one of the privileges and honors I've had so far in my professional life, working at with Games Omnivorous, because it's just Mausritter has the most wonderful, thriving community out there in the gaming industry world. So it's just incredible to be able to bring together, bridge, curate all these wonderful projects like yours, Matt. I really want to know more about your project. So I mean, do you want to start there? Do you want to start with Rolling Coast? Because Rolling Coast is obviously one of the projects involved in Mouse Ritter Month. It's the currently the second, I think, or the third with the most backers after Junk City. It's an awesome supplement for Mouse Ritter. So, do you want to talk a bit more about that too, or do you want me to talk?
Yeah,
What do you prefer?
yeah. No, I could totally talk about
Yeah.
Rolling Coast. We're super excited. Like you said, we actually just crossed 500 backers, which is super exciting, which unlocked another achievement. So we're going to add some more stickers to our box
Hmm.
set, which is fun. But yeah, Hugh and I, we've been working on this as part of our Patreon for the last year and a half or so. And when the opportunity arose to be a part of Mouse Ritter Month,
Hmm.
we had thought maybe one day would come where we would like print, because we were making each one of the individual sites for Rolling Coast as those trifold adventures, much like
Hmm.
the estate and Junk City will have. And we thought one day we would maybe do something like that. But when then the opportunity arose to be a part of Mouse Ritter Month, we just said, why not put it together as a book? Which I think we were kind of
Hmm.
naive. I think we thought we had less pages than we actually had. Um, because when we put it all together, it was like I think it's 112 pages, and we just hit a stretch
Wow.
goal earlier last week where we're adding even more pages. So Hugh and I are going to be doing a stream on Thursday where we craft that whole adventure live in front of
Nice.
the audience, which will be fun. But
Nice.
yeah, it's a amusement park setting. We now have 10 adventure sites. There's 11 different factions, over 20 different beasts to add to your bestiary. We've got, man, I think there's like 10 or 15 different spells, all sorts of magic items, um, and
Tell
just,
me more about the adventure sites. I want to know the adventure sites. Give me like a couple of them.
yeah.
I'm excited about this because I'm a sucker for amusement parks.
All
I
right.
just I took my daughter to Disneyland for her birthday this year, and she loved it. And I think I even loved it more than her. I was like, I really liked and enjoyed myself. I haven't been for since I was a kid, so. But it was wonderful, and I've always and when I was there I was like, maybe this is a really cool setting for Mausritter and stuff, and then I learned that you were actually already doing it, so I was very excited. So tell me, like, give me some examples of these wonderful adventure sites you have, because I think that's really interesting. I
Yeah.
think that's one of the most interesting aspects for Mausritter is actually what people come up for as adventure sites. That's something that really interests me. And when I go out in everyday life in our human world, I'm always seeing, oh, this could be really cool adventure site from us. This like it could be even I don't know stuff like a fridge, right? A refrigerator or whatever. So like. I don't know. I see all these cool places, and I'm like, well, this is like a Mouse Ritter setting right there.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah, tell me.
for sure, for sure. And that's the way I look at the, ever since I started playing Mouse Ritter, the world in which I walk around, I'm like, oh, yep, there's an adventure site, there's an adventure site, there's an adventure site. So yeah, some of the things that we've done, inside the amusement park itself. In the pavilion, there is a large fountain, and so there's this vertical dungeon in the fountain where you can get inside, but there's like a koi fish that's a wizard, and there's all sorts of craziness that happens there. That one's fun. The main village or hamlet that the mice live in is also in the snack shack that's in the pavilion. So it's like within the walls. There's all sorts of cool stuff in there,
Mhm.
and there's also a clock tower. So I brought up here actually just our working file in Canva. But we've got a New Year's themed thing where there's fireworks that are set to go off, but the clock tower some of the pieces have gone missing, and so it's not going to strike 12, which is going to cause all sorts of issues. And so we've done some
That's fun.
we've done some stuff there, which was super fun. And again, making vertical dungeons and those kind of things. But yeah, so then when it comes to like the roller coasters, one of the adventure sites is over underneath one of the large roller coasters. And there's a faction known as the Gearheads, and the Gearheads they take all the mechanical just like scrap and rubbish from throughout the park. Like if someone drops their headphones or their iPhone or something, the
It's really
Gearheads
good.
take it all together, and they're this like electric based group, and they're always tinkering, doing some fun things. And their hub is called Sparktown, and it's in the base of the roller coaster, so it's always just vibrating as the roller coaster's going.
Oh, that's fun.
But the
And do
Gearheads,
do players get to climb the roller coaster somehow, or is that
yes, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah. So
included?
definitely there's like adventure hooks for them to go and like try and get spare parts from up on the top of the roller coaster. And
That's
but
so
the
fun.
but the gearheads they build mechs, and so we Hugh put together this awesome little system for making mechs in Mouse Ritter. We've got all sorts of like character sheets for it and all sorts of
That's
things.
cool.
And then lo and behold, one of the other Mouse Ritter Month teams is coming out with Mech Ritter, and there's actually
Exactly.
very similar the way we've approached it. So we're actually going to be doing a crossover. And for
That's
folks
great to
who
hear. Yeah.
for folks who back both of our things, we're just gonna give a pamphlet adventure where they're like their parts dealer from their setting meets up with the gearheads, and there's like parts are going missing, so there's a little adventure they can go on together. So it's just a perfect crossover between our two.
Cool.
Um,
Awesome. Love to hear that.
yeah, no,
No, that's really good. And tell me more about what kind of beasts are there? Like obviously humans,
Yeah.
right? In a way, but that's like that's like a Cthulhu level for little mice, right?
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
what sort of like exciting things do you bring to the Mausritter bestiary, let's say?
Yeah. Well, so a part of the amusement park is an abandoned zoo that, like, the zoo got shut down. How or why some of the animals got left or escaped, we don't know. But so there's some miscellaneous zoo animals that you can add in just as like a layer of craziness. But the main bad guy is Quilbane, and Quilbane is a porcupine who kind of just stalks the night at the amusement park, and he has a group of rats that kind of serve him that are called the pack rats, and they're more of like a 1920s 1930s gangster.
Hmm.
Style, and so they've got a whole set of things. Half of them want to serve Quilbane, but there's a young, up and coming, more socialist thinking rat who says, "Hey, we can reform." Our gangster ways, and we can kind of spread the wealth amongst all of us. And so you can actually, as the mice, you can actually help overthrow the rats while still establishing a new rat, but a better rat. And,
Hmm.
and, and so there's all sorts of like cool like political things
That's
you
very
can
cool.
do.
That's
Um,
very cool.
but
And is it more like the way I see this, you're kind of remaining unlike Junk City, which we can talk about
yeah,
just in a sec, but you're kind of remaining faithful to the idea of Mausritter, to the foundation of Mausritter. It's like kind of like a sandbox sort of setting, like
yeah,
lots of things that players can play around, lots of cool adventure sites with some connections, but fairly thin. So it's kind of like these sort of world where you're giving lots of it's like a playground for
yeah,
players,
yeah.
and then they kind of create their own story or their own campaign as they explore these things and interact with the factions. And so is that the case with Rolling Coast then?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things that Hugh and I have talked about is we want each one of our adventure sites to be able to be used as a one shot, just apart from Rolling Coast, and still be able to stand on its own. But when
Gotcha.
brought together, there's an overarching
Gotcha.
sandbox, but it's connected as well. But yeah,
So
but
kind of like the estate, right?
yeah,
Kind of like
exactly.
the estate in a way, right? Like I think we kind of established what a campaign supplement would look like with the estate, but it was kind of like not too much by design in a way,
Hmm.
but it was kind
Hmm.
of like by accident. The way the project was built was like that, and then we kind of made the connections in the end. But I think that people will be surprised that Junk City will be a bit different this time. I don't know if you want to jump straight away
Yeah,
into
let's
Junk
definitely
City or
jump right over. I would absolutely love
cool.
to talk and ask you questions about um, Junk City. So tell me more.
Yeah.
What is the overarching? You said it's going to be a little bit different.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
give some behind the curtain information if you would.
Yeah, so I think that as we were just saying, the estate kind of founded this established this idea of what a mouse ritter campaign or campaign supplement could look like or would look like. This idea that you create a bunch of kind of like standalone adventures or adventures that can be one shots easily, that can be played standalone, but then you create these sort of connections between them, very thin connections, I would say, and then the campaign itself, the story emerges. There's nothing like predetermined, so to speak, nothing very solid that is predetermined. So the campaign emerges as the players explore rumors, explore certain location, create antagonists, right? There's no real antagonist. Like the players themselves create the antagonists in
That's
this kind
cool.
of like in what we established with the estate. I think it was something along these lines, and I think it was because how the supplement was built, and from the start we invited 11 different creators to do stuff and we offered them very little guidelines. We said you have to do a Mausritter test, but you can do whatever you want. And then we kind of created the campaign after. So it was a bit, we kind of replicated play in a sense. The
Right.
design replicated play. You know, we kind of like there were a bunch of loose adventures. Then we did the campaign. In the end, we wrote the guidebook for it in the end. And I
Yeah.
think, okay, now jumping, I talk too much, but jumping into Junk City now. I think that this is going to feel a bit different because it's not anymore. You can still play these modules, the modules offered in this box set, which there are nine of them. You can still play them as standalone one shots. That's fine, but they were kind of designed to have a very strong connection between each one of them, and they serve a purpose,
Mm.
let's say. So Junk City starts after a magical disaster that send magically charged shards across the city that are doing all sorts of weird stuff around town, and also the disappearance of a very important mouse in the city,
Mm. Mm.
NPC in the city. And so players are given this brief and they're somehow asked to solve the mystery and to see what's what and how is the mystery related to these shards or not, what happened to this important NPC. Then they can align. So each faction is also very interested in this particular NPC, which is kind of like elite mouse female in her 20s that's all over town, and she owes money to some people and she owes favors to others. So the setting is built on this junk city, which is obviously a junkyard, and it has this noir, dark, rain, always raining, kind of almost like a Blade Runner-esque
That's
feeling
cool. I love
to
that.
it, and it's controlled by these criminal factions, which are like a criminal enterprise spearheaded by a cat cutpurse. Um, then there's a toad industrialist, you know, like this big industrialist kind of figure that dominates the factories and stuff.
That's great.
Then there's the corrupt police, and there's also a weird cult sort of thing. And these are all of these facts are very criminal and corrupt, and all and this missing they all want this missing NPC also. So players have to navigate these interests, and they have to kind of decide if they align with the faction or not. If it will be interesting to see what sort of antagonists they build with these factions, and what others do they align um, with. But going back to adventure sites, so we have a bunch of adventure sites, and each is kind of like a stepping stone towards solving this bigger mystery that looms over the setting. And then we have a final adventure which is sealed, that players only should open when they are able to, if at all, assemble all the shards that are scattered across town. So this one will have a more coherent campaign-like,
That's cool.
in a classic sense, feeling, I would say. I could show a bit of these adventures
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
if you want. Let me see how I share my screen. Can people see this?
Yep. It's looking good on my
Oh,
end.
okay. So this one people can download actually from just by going to the campaign. There's a big orange button that says free adventure, and this is the one that comes inside. And so this is like the slums. It's a part of town which is like the where the poor mice workers live, and it's just like a stack of shoe boxes, right? And this one has a big infestation problem, uh, the flies, and it has also mold in the basement. So players are kind of trying to work their way around. You can see here in this bit, they're kind of like um, squashed between like a fly invasion that's coming down uh, on them, and like a mold infestation that's going up as they walk the bill. So they're kind of like compressed between these two things. Um, and yeah, this adventure site you people can download. It's free. You can check it out if you want. And here's like some, and people can understand like some connection with the factions here. There's the corrupt fuzz officer, there's the silver paw agent, which is kind of like the cultist faction, working for the cultist faction. But we have other exciting things. This is still work in progress, but you can take a look. So this one is like a casino controlled by the cat.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah, and it's like this one was illustrated by Amanda Lee Frank, so it's kind of like a car casino
That is
going on
so
there.
awesome.
And the main thing about this adventure is that the cheese, there's a cheese that's been adulterated by like one of these magical shards, and it's very addictive, and just the poor mice are coming in and spending all their money because of the cheese basically. Then there's another one which is in the sewers. It's kind of like an outcast part, an outskirts of town, but one of the shards got into the sewers, and there's one of my favorite NPCs here. That's where is it? Let me see if I can find. Yeah, the Oracle Sanctuary. So there's hermit. It's like a crab oracle that wears like soda cans as its shell. So it's like this is a fun one. I think it's one of my favorite NPCs here. Then we have the crane, which is like a decommissioned crane, right? And there's the shard got stranded there, and there's like a caterpillar that's doing all sorts of weird things to
Oh, that's so
to
cool. Yeah.
with the shard. So this one is also I think interesting. And then there's another one which this one is also it's cool because this one is illustrated so the crane was illustrated by Josiah Moore, and this one by Francisco Lemos, who also has a project
Yeah.
on Mausritter Month. And this is like a discarded aquarium with like computer parts and stuff, and it's kind of like more science fiction sort of more of a science fiction sort of theme. There's like a mad scientist sort
That's
of
super cool.
type with that's kind of like turning mouse into uncivilized rats and stuff like that. So,
Very
uh,
cool.
so
Very
yeah.
cool.
And this one, yeah, this one is not done yet. It's the piano. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there. But yeah, just so people can have like an idea of what we're working. There's also like a grand piano that's kind of like a mansion to one of these richer NPCs. There's also a factory, something going horribly wrong in a factory, and the factory is actually built inside a printing machine, one of these industrial printing machines, which I think is also exciting. We have a race modules with race, sort of like the Song of Froggle
Hmm. Hmm.
in the estate. So these race maps, and people were going to be going on races with these crazy like NPCs that inhabit the like commercial neon lit district of the city. And yeah, that's it. As I said, I talked.
I'm the kind of person who likes to build my own head canon and bring all sorts of things together. And we have in Rolling Coast, there's a shopping mall just outside. And it's got its own sets of factions and everything. And one
Mhm.
of them is a like Fast and Furious kind of where you actually go through like an electronics store and you're trying to find parts to build a Mad Max style like
Awesome.
car.
Awesome.
And so I'm like, man, what if some of our mice just leave there and they drive their own remote control car and they find Junk City? Like, there's all sorts of crossover between so many of the Mausritter Month projects. So
Absolutely. I really think that Rolling Coast and Junk City are kind of like it would be really cool to place them in the same kind of like world, and then people could go from one to another.
yeah,
I definitely could see that happen because I think their scale is quite
uh
similar,
huh,
I
uh
would
huh.
say, in the sense they're fairly big for a Mouse Ritter setting, I would say, but they have all these very interesting adventure sites going. So I would definitely, yeah, I would definitely love to see someone play in a Mausritter world setting that has those two going. That would
Right.
be really, really interesting.
Right. Well, and then
Um,
they could just throw in the Tales and Trinkets little shop, and they could get all sorts of cool new items. They could they could find a
Mac Ritter you
restaurant.
talked about already, right? You have Mac Ritter, which you talked
Yes.
about.
Yes.
You're doing a crossover.
Yes, and I actually just
Um,
pulled up, and we can see it on the stream. Mech Ritter looks like they are probably one or two backers away from funding right now.
oh, so
So
by the end of this stream, let's make
yeah, so if you're
Mac
watching this
Ritter
stream and
funded.
you have not backed Mech Ritter, go back
Yes.
Mech Ritter. Be the one who pushes them over the 7,000 pounds, and that would be super exciting. Um, well, Andre, let's if you're down to chat about it just real quick, one of the other things that we've done in connection with Mausritter Month on BackerKit, it actually launches today, November 11th. We've got the Mausritter Month Companion Jam over on itch.io, which right now it looks like we have 77 people have joined it, and 3 people have already submitted entries to it.
Well, this is yeah, that this is why I love the mouse Twitter community. It's just unbelievable how people are excited to keep on creating content for this game. If you go to library.mausreader.com, which it was you who set this up, right?
Hugh
There's
Lashbrook and myself,
yeah,
Hugh did all the back end, and I had spreadsheets that were going for
yeah.
years worth of stuff.
Which I cannot thank you enough for setting this up, but it
Yeah.
has like over 1,000 supplements at this point, right? You can
Yeah,
only
yeah,
buy.
we're at
So
1,204, and it looks like I'm gonna have to add at least 3 more
there you
here
go.
pretty soon. So yeah,
But the
it's
game jam is let me just say that
yeah.
I'm really excited. So the thing is, we had a ton of submissions for Mouse Ritter Month, as one can probably imagine. This game is, you know, grew in popularity exponentially over the last few years. People are super and keep on being super excited to create content for it. So we received a lot of submissions for Mausritter Month, and it was actually, and I don't say this lightly, it was really the most difficult decision that I was faced with since starting Games Omnivorous, was actually choosing the people to participate in the Mausritter Month event on BackerKit. It was very complicated. There were incredible creators that we had to not include just because we could not include everyone. Um, so we are happy to announce that we did this game jam as sort of like a companion to Mouse Ritterman, to the event, to basically celebrate the game in another way, but also to allow a space, to create a space for all these people who were not possible to include in the Backer Kit event, to participate to participate now in the game jam. So you can create content, submit it to the jam. Just check it out. There's a link, right? You're going to put a link on the description, maybe, of the video, Matt, if you can. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I'm blessed to be part of this community, and it's just an incredible privilege. I can't hear you, Matt.
Yeah, no, super excited. Had the opportunity. Isaac and Andre hooked me up with a list of some folks who they had talked with and had submitted stuff to Mouse Runner Month, and so I got to start a whole email campaign going after all these people. Like, hey, keep creating. Bring it in, and some of them have already made their submissions to the things that they had
Awesome.
suggested, and so
Yeah.
it's super exciting. So yeah, super cool. I will post the link in the description. If it's not already there, I'll have it there as soon as this video um, goes offline and uploads. But yeah, it's
Awesome. So we already have three submissions. So this open today, we already have three submissions. We have 70 people lined up, so you definitely need to check it out. And if you've been wanting to do something for Mouse Ritter, or if you need content for your game, I think I did the math the other day. And if you play 10 hours of Mouse Ritter per day, you would probably need around 12 years to play through all the stuff that's been already published for Masters. So you're never going to run out of content
Oh,
for
that's
this
too
game.
good. That's too good. Well, I actually just refreshed it. It was 3 when I first opened it, but it's 10 now,
Okay.
which is
Cool.
awesome. And one of them, our friend Antonio Butch from Butch Plays Mouse
Hmm.
Olympics. He's actually released a free little one of the events from the Mouse Olympics is here available as part of the companion jam. So that's really cool
Exciting. Yeah,
to
that's
see
another
that.
one that I'm really excited about on Mausritter Month because I love mini games in
Yeah,
RPGs. I've done a bunch already in my own games and stuff. So I'm a sucker for these like mini games that provide a fun break from the usual role-playing game style. So and Mouse Olympics does offer like these sort of cool mini games with like beetle jousting and
yeah.
races and stuff. So it's really cool. Check it out.
No, super good.
Yeah.
Well, Andre, anything else that you want to say to those who are watching? We've had a couple questions I think asked in the
Oh,
stream,
let's hear the
so
questions
let's
for
jump over
sure.
to questions.
Yeah, yeah.
The first question came from our friend Tiger Wizard. And they were asking Hugh and I if we were going to have a mouse-sized roller coaster in Rolling Coast, and no plans of that yet. But I will let you know. And if you tune into the stream on Thursday, there's likely going to be a log ride chase. With some fun chase mechanics, so that's there. But
And Tiger Wizard also has a really cool
yes,
project on
which
Mouse Written.
Which Tiger
Tales of the Night
Wizards?
Market.
Yeah, Tiger Wizards. The night market in my mind can just fit in Rolling Coast because it's got that carnival
Yeah,
theme, and it's just like maybe yeah. So
exactly.
all sorts of fun stuff there. Let's see. Looks like Ryan at the Weekly Scroll is asking if the shipping is going to be if the box with all the content in it is going to be about £7,000. Does that sound right? Is that what our folks over at Exalted Funeral have put together? £7,000 box of Mouse Ritter.
Yes, that's what it is.
Why don't you just actually talk briefly about the group shipping and just how cool that is?
Yeah, we're offering an experimental thing set up by BackerKit. We'll see how exactly it works. There's still a lot of stuff up in the air because it's an experimental feature. It's not available to basically anyone except, as far as I understand, Mothership and us at this point. So basically, the way it works is we're going to ship out of the 16 projects. There's 13 who opted in to be part of the group shipping. So these 13 projects will be assembled together and will be shipped out together as well to backers, so that backers, instead of being charged for 13, let's say, shipping fees, they only pay one. And that one shipping fee is going to be fairly expensive because there's things being printed all over the world and they need to come to our distribution centers and they need to be assembled together and all sorts of things. But it's going to be a fairly high expensive shipping fee. Let's say if you back seven products, it's going to be like 40, maybe $40 or $30, but it's not going to be like $120. You know what I mean? So it's like you're going to save a lot of money with this group shipping. So don't be afraid to back all projects potentially because you're not going to get completely screwed with shipping. We can promise that. It's going to do require a lot of work from us here with logistics, coordination, having, making sure that all people will deliver right around the same time, are prepared for printing, all this sort of thing. But I think we want to give the best service possible and the best customer service possible to backers. So we are doing this.
No,
That's it. That's what it is.
that's great. That's great. Thanks for sharing that. We've got a question here about what software we use to make our PDF adventures. I use Affinity Publisher. Hugh Lashbrook uses Canva. Andre, you and Isaac use
We use Affinity too.
Affinity. Yep. No,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah. Well, Isaac sometimes uses InDesign too, but mostly Affinity these
Yep.
days.
Yep.
Yes.
No, very
Yeah.
good. We've got several folks, our friend Diogo Barros and Tiger Wizard, both interested about the Mothership crossover. So maybe a little
Hmm.
bit more information on this awesome team up between
Cool.
you guys and Tuesday Night Games.
Yeah, so we teamed up with Sean McCoy and Tuesday Night Games, folks at Mothership, because these events were fairly close and overlapping, even in some days with one another. So that's Mothership Month and Mausritter Month, and because we are friends, we know each other. I'm a fan of Mothership, obviously. Isaac too. I know that Sean McCoy likes Mausritter too. So a lot of our fan base is has overlapping. A lot of the creators, even there's people that are creating there are creators in Mausritter Month. There are also creators in the Mothership Month event. So because of all of that, we decided to do some cross collab. So what's going to happen is me and Isaac are going to write a Mothership module, and we already did that. It has a rat king and lots of mice, obviously. Um, but it's me and Isaac writing a Mothership module, and then Sean and the team there will write a Mouse Ritter module, probably with a space theme or sci-fi theme of sorts. And this is going to be so one of these flip zines, right? So
Mm,
there's one cover here, and then there's the other cover of this doesn't show, but the other cover here,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And then it's mostly like a two-page, three-page module each, fairly minimalist, simple. And but I think it's an interesting and cool way to celebrate this the love that the creators involved in both these games have for one another in or one another's games, let's say.
No, that's so
So yeah.
good. That's so good. I remember. I think it was 2021. Someone had posted back in the Twitter days that picture of the three different Spider-Mans all pointing at each other, and they had
Yeah.
written Mothership, Mouse Ritter, and Morkborg, and it was just like
Okay.
the three best third-party communities, all
Yes.
like, hey, we all start with the
Yes.
letter M. It's so good. Got another
Makes
question
sense.
here from Gustavo Filetto, who's on Mech Ritter doing some of the art. I think also on Mouse Olympics doing some art, if I remember correctly.
Mhm.
And the question is, any particular new mechanics introduced in your games that you're excited for people to try out?
Mhm. Well, yes, the shards here that I've been talking about on Junk City, these magical shards are kind of like spell tablets, but they introduce a new like level of craziness to it. So they're like super powerful spell tablets that, if used, they can almost obliterate a setting or a session. So we're excited to see how players experiment and deal with that, because they offer a new dimension, new level of craziness to the magic in Mouse Ritter, basically. So that's mostly the novelty here, I would say, mechanically. And there's also the races, which is another thing, but yeah.
So will characters be encouraged, or like players be encouraged to put the actual puzzle pieces in their character sheet instead of an item card?
Yes, and they're very annoying because they will have all these different sizes and stuff. So they will be very annoying to carry, but they're extremely powerful, and they're kind of like the stuff they're after. So it's going to be a bit twofold, let's say. Carry or not carry this, use or not use this. So
No,
it's
that's good.
going to add choice, because me and Isaac always like the most important thing that you can do for the players is to offer them meaningful choices, and that's the core of role of RPGs, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So having them offering these choices, and carry or not, use or not, this kind of stuff, I think it's what brings really a game alive. So yeah.
No, that's really cool. I think one of the
And in Rolling Coast, what do you have something?
yeah, we have Hugh put together a cool combat system that's not like normal combat. It's like a brawl sort of combat.
Hmm.
So non-lethal wrestling matches, kind of like mixed martial arts. And so we have like
Hmm.
a whole underground fight club where you can fight. I think there's like 12 different NPCs of varying levels. You can enter into a tournament, which is really cool. I think actually some of those fighters might do a crossover to Mouse Olympics if that one hits that stretch goal, which is really cool.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
but one of the things that Hugh did was it's not just player against NPC, but you can actually do PvP fights.
Oh
And
wow.
and so
Okay,
so that's
that's
always fun.
interesting.
So like turning an entire session into just like whose character is actually the best statistically fight wise, and so all
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
that's cool. That's cool.
So very very cool. I see in the chat here I had mentioned I thought Gustavo was working on Mouse Olympics. It's Francisco Lemos is working on some art.
On
So
yes.
Francisco's doing all sorts of stuff, which is awesome.
Yes, Francisco is also doing art for Junk City. So
Yes, did
yeah.
he do the alligator in the sewer that art?
Yes, that was
Yes.
him.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
glorious. Um, well, man, yeah. Tiger Wizard says he can smell another collab coming because Butch and Gustavo are talking here in the chat. So who knows?
That's
Let's fund all these things, get more money to all the
of
creators,
course.
and let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not seeing any more questions coming in, and it's almost 9 a.m. here on the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, you have
Uh,
to go to work,
I have to
right?
go to work. Yep.
And me, I have to leave work.
Yeah.
So,
So good. So
but
good. Well,
it's like it
anything
doesn't feel like work, so it's like it's fine.
no, I love it.
No, I
Anything
just need to pick up my daughter in a bit, so I'll have to do that. But you have to start working, I assume,
Yep, this is
because
true.
we're on it's 8 hours difference, right,
Yeah.
between us.
Yeah, well, let's I'm kind of last thing I just want to go double check and look and see how close Mech Raider is just since we're on the stream, we're getting ready to end the stream.
Oh yeah, please do.
Let's see here. Projects. Uh,
Probably like one. It was like a couple,
yeah,
maybe like four or five.
it's less than 100 away from funding. So we
Okay,
are right
so
there.
yeah.
So folks, go do it. Go back
Yeah,
this.
it's virtually one or two backers away from funding. So, and this is the last project that needs to be funded. All others are already funded, and many of them have hit like two or three stretch goals at this point. So
Right,
it's like
right.
feels awesome.
Uh, Tiger Wizard did mention in the chat. He said, "Hey, tell us how we can get all those really cool minis." So maybe that'll be your closing remarks there, Andre.
Okay.
How do we get these super awesome 16 wooden meeples?
So it's one thing that we're offering in with the event is you're gonna get these 16 wooden meeples depicting each one represents one of the projects or is representative of one of the projects in the that's being crowdfunded through the Mausritter Month event, and you can get that you can get them if you back Junk City and six other projects. You have to back at least one at the physical level, but you can back you can back also on the digital level to qualify for this. So yeah, just back seven projects and you'll get them. Basically, that's how it's how it goes. And man, I want to thank you so much for this. It was fun. Thank you for setting this up. Thank you for all your work with the Mouse Ritter community. Congrats on Rolling Coast, which is I love and super excited to see physically to hold it in my hands in a few months, hopefully.
Yes.
And yeah, let's do this again. Maybe next week we invite
Yeah.
someone else. I don't know if you want to do that.
No,
So
I'm totally down. This was super fun. Huge shout out to Ryan at the Weekly Scroll, who my first time ever streaming and doing this kind of thing was last week, and I think that this is my fourth one, and I've got a fifth one later this week, and it's a huge learning curve. So Ryan, huge shout out to you for giving me the inside scoop on how to do some of this stuff. But Andre, thank you so much for coming on. Super excited about what you guys are doing, and so excited to get Junk City in my hands. I know I have hours of endless
yeah.
play there. So guys, thanks for watching. Everyone who was there in the chat, we appreciate you. And yeah, tune in on Thursday to watch Hugh and I do a live design of an adventure site. And yeah, Andre, we'll get some folks on next week and maybe talk some more.
All right. Bye.
All right, we'll see y'all later. All right, we have officially ended in YouTube world.